Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of ETV News. I'm Amanda Zeitel.
And I am Jada Furlow.
On Thursday around 11 a.m., there was an open shooter at Umpqua Community College in Oregon. 9 people were killed and more were injured during the incident. The shooter was identified as Chris Harper Mercer. Mercer had a standoff with police before he finally killed himself. Police found 5 pistols and a rifle at the scene of the crime, along with more in Mercer's apartment. Our thoughts are with those who were involved.
19-year-old Luke Gaddy from Long Island, New York, is becoming very well known after an incident on Sunday night. This UConn student was refused mac and cheese after he entered an on-campus market drunk and with an open can of beer. When the manager asked him to leave, he threw a tantrum and the video went viral on social media. The student was shown shoving the manager multiple times before another employee took him to the ground. He was held down until the police arrived minutes later and handcuffed him. This is not the first time Gaddy has been in trouble with the law. He was arrested twice before transferring from UMass to UConn. This time, Gaddy was charged with disorderly conduct and criminal trespassing, as well as additional disciplinary action from the school. The price will pay for some bacon jalapeno mac and cheese.
President Barack Obama has apologized to Doctors Without Borders for the U.S. air attack that hit the group's medical clinic and killed 22 people in Afghanistan over the weekend. White House spokesperson Josh Earnest said that the president expressed his condolences for the organization's staff and patients and promised a full investigation of the incident. Obama's apology comes in calls from the medical aid group for an independent fact-finding mission under rules of the Geneva Conventions. Joanne Liu, chief of Doctors Without Borders, told reporters Wednesday that the weekend strike was not just an attack on our hospital. It was an attack on the Geneva Conventions. This cannot be tolerated.
2 children visiting a county fair in Maine were possibly exposed to E. coli, and one has passed away, according to the Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Colton Guay, 20 months old, died Tuesday, and his father, John Guay, believes his son was exposed to while visiting the petting zoo at the Oxford County Fair. Veterinarian Mark Anderson said it's possible to be exposed to E. coli at petting zoos, and it's important children wash their hands after visiting one. They've got to wash their hands when they come out of the petting zoo because they may pick up fetal material in there, and we want the kids and their parents to be aware of that, Anderson said. Many parents aren't aware of the associated risks. Lindsay McCollin's son, 2-year-old Caden, has been going to the county fair since he was born. You wouldn't think you're going to catch a disease and you could lose your child coming to the fair, McCollin said. However, Anderson said what happened to Colin is rare. I mean, obviously, if this was an everyday occurrence or anything even close to that, we wouldn't even have petting zoos. But this is an extremely rare event, and I think it gives us all pause, Anderson said. Vets also said if you know your child tends to put his or her hands in their mouth a lot, you may want to avoid taking them to a petting zoo.
Police in Orlando have a man in custody, accused in a deadly shooting last night. It turns out that suspect was once a person of interest in a missing person investigation out of Naples. 37-year-old Malthan Darius is charged with shooting and killing a man at a Hyatt Regency parking garage, a man police say he knew. Authorities made the arrest within minutes, and it wasn't long before the suspect's record began to unfold. Mathnal Darius was the last known family member to have seen his wife, Mary Deli Darius, told detectives he drove her to her job at Walmart on May 17th, the day she vanished. Deputies say Darius was considered a person of interest, but he was cooperative. He never faced any charges in her disappearance. Authorities in Orlando have not released details about the motive in yesterday's shooting.
A Hartford police officer was injured Wednesday afternoon in a crash at the intersection of Summit and Zion Streets. At 12:25 p.m., officers reported that the driver of the white Honda Civic was operating recklessly on Summit Street. A Hartford officer responded to the area and was stationary at the intersection when the Civic hit it head-on. The injured officer was treated by EMTs on the scene and then taken to the hospital by ambulance, as was the passenger in the Civic. The driver of the Civic, Eric Rivera, 22 of Hartford, was arrested and charged with reckless driving, reckless endangerment in first degree, assault on police, unregistered motor vehicle, insufficient insurance, misuse of license plate, failure to display front license plate, and failure to obey officer's signal. Witnesses tell Fox CT that the scene was like an action movie. I got front row seats to a huge accident, said John Anchico, who was loading equipment into his car when he saw the suspect fly by. He was doing at least, I want to say, 45, 50, 60 max, but he had his lead foot on the ground, Anchico said.
New polling from key swing states shows Floridians are looking for an outsider candidates beyond the established politicians. The latest Quinnipiac pollsters surveyed voters in Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Donald Trump has the most support from registered Republicans in Florida, 28%. Dr. Ben Carson is at 16%. Senator Marco Rubio at 14%. The headline from this poll, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush is only polling at 12%. This same poll in April showed Bush at 24% on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton is holding on to a strong lead in those same states. In Florida, 43% of Democrats back Clinton compared to 19% for both Senator Bernie Sanders and Vice President Joe Biden, who hasn't even announced if he's running. This poll revealed being honest and trustworthy is the most important quality for a presidential candidate. 51% of Florida said Clinton is not honest.
Everybody knows what it's like to be stuck in traffic on the highway, either from a rush hour or an accident. But what if you were stuck in traffic due to a cow on the loose? On Interstate 395 in Griswold on Tuesday, a runaway cow hit the highway as drivers were turning heads and slowing down traffic to a cow's pace to ensure the cow wouldn't get hurt. Glenn Norman of Norman Farm said his dairy cow was loose for most of the day. He realized she was missing on Tuesday afternoon and spent much of the day looking for her, to realize his cow had traveled about a half a mile from the farm to Interstate 395. The cow was able to return to the farm safely yesterday morning at around 5:30 a.m. And we'll be right back with this week's editorial.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers' dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
School's out forever. School's out with fever. School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
School's out for summer.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
And we're back with this week's editorial by Danny Felton.
September 29th, Glamour magazine held their The Power of an Educated Girl panel in New York City. One of the members on the panel was Michelle Obama. The First Lady spoke to 1,000 young women about education. She also shared her 62 Million Girls campaign, which sheds light on the 62 million girls in the world that do not have access to an education. One of the key points of her talk to these young girls was to remind them that having an education does not make you unattractive. Quote, "There is no boy at this age that is cute enough or interesting enough to stop you from getting your education." End quote. She also wanted to remind the women to not take their opportunities for an education for granted. There are 62 million women who do not have that opportunity. To throw that away because of a boyfriend or because a female with an education will drive a man away is, well, stupid. Now, I know school is not for everyone, but some kind of education is crucial for your future. You should not let anyone be the reason you are not getting an education. Michelle Obama also explained that women should not bash each other. If the next girl is not going to school, that is not an opportunity to look at her as someone less than you. Instead, she encouraged the young girls to support their fellow women regardless what their decisions may be, even if they disagree. We need to come together and support one another, give helpful advice, and definitely encourage just the thought of going to school. However, it is not our business to judge them if they choose otherwise. Our job is to uplift one another. If you have the opportunity, take it. At least try it, because like Michelle Obama says, there are 62 million women out there who do not even have that chance. According to thedailyreveal.com, quote, "An education is one of the deadliest weapons a person can have. There's not much more intimidating than an educated, intelligent woman," end quote. Let's rise together to be the best women we can be, and to help the next woman be the best woman she can be. That's it for this week's editorial. I'm Danny Fallon. See you next time Eastern.
Time to wake up. I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Don't forget, you've got a job to do today.
Hey, Mom. I got the job. Thanks.
Got the job. Welcome aboard.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia? Let's do it. What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Join University Hour next week as University Hour presents Freedom for Eva. Eva Gralchowska, the founder of this organization, helps survivors of domestic violence by providing an empowering outlet for survivors of all ages of partner violence by communicating through the language and the reflection of artistic expression. She also provides these programs to children living in domestic violence shelters. She gives victims the tools to heal from trauma, to live in love, and to become survivors. University Hour will be taking place from Wednesday from 3 to 4 in the Student Center Theater.
As this week being Campus Sustainability Week, Eastern is looking for volunteers to clean up the community garden. Eastern's community garden is located next to the police station and the Institute for Sustainable Energy located at 372 High Street. The cleanup will be taking place tomorrow from 1 to 4 p.m. The event is free, and if you are interested in the cleanup, please contact Laura Miller.
For those of you who cannot resist playing ball, there is a special event just for you. Come to Ball is Life, where you can play ball, wall ball, dodgeball, and knockout. Those of you who aren't much of a basketball fan, there will be a smoothie bar. This event will be October 14th from 1 to 4 p.m. in the gym. Every half an hour, there will be a $10 through $50 gift card giveaway, so don't miss out.
Micah's music is a touch of folk mixed with some soul and topped off with a little bit of heartbreak. The last 3 years have brought him coast to coast and back again, playing clubs, colleges, living rooms, and everything in between. With his strong affinity for bacon and flannel, some have deemed him the Ron Swanson of singer-songwriters. Picture the soulful, powerhouse vocals of John Legend behind a guitar with a laid-back style. Micah is a new buzz artist not to be missed. Check out the new album, Just a Little Heartbreak. This performance will take place in the Student Center on Monday, October 19th from 8 to 9 p.m.
On October 7th, students gathered for the 3rd Annual Communication Connection. Our reporter, Amanda Zeitel, has more on the story.
This is Amanda Zeitel reporting live for ETV News in the Johnson Room of the library for the Communications Connection ceremony. The annual Communication Connection ceremony was held in the Johnson Room of the Eugene Smith Library on Wednesday, October 7th. As always, things started with an introduction from each of the communication professors as they discussed a little about themselves to the students. Afterwards, elected leaders of each club gave short presentations about their respective club goals and activities for the coming year. Those present included the Radio Club, ETV Sports Broadcasting, and even our own TV club. Later, vocal students got to share their own thoughts with faculty. We caught up with Denise Matthews to hear what the Com Connection is all about.
We started Communication Connection about 3 years ago in this kind of format because we wanted to engage students who are not only majors and minors but also those who are interested in our major. And it also a way to network and reach out to our students and hear what they're thinking and for them to make sure they know what's going on with the department. We hope to accomplish networking and familiarity with the clubs because, as we now know, research shows that students who are involved in clubs are the most successful, not only at school, but also in the future.
And that's it for the ceremony. We had a great turnout, and it was really nice to have the whole comm department together. This is Amanda Zeitel with ETV News. See you next time.
Thank you, Amanda, for the report.
The Relay for Life of Greater Windham County is a large community event that supports cancer research, prevention, and survivors. Students will create a team or join an existing team and raise money for the cause. Volunteers will also be needed to support the event, which runs from 11 a.m. Saturday, October 17th until 11 a.m. on Sunday, October 18th. Students are encouraged to form a team by going to www.relay.acsevents.org. Students can also volunteer for the event here. Volunteer jobs include helping with the gear store, luminaire sales, silent auction, and children activities setup and cleanup.
Every year, there's an epidemic across the nation of sexual assault on college campuses. Sexual assault is a very serious topic that occurs practically every college campus. In 2014 alone, 85 sexual assaults were reported at UConn Storrs campus. College campuses are making steps in the right direction by educating freshmen right away about this issue and how to handle it. Here at Eastern, we offer a team against sexual assault for anyone who is a victim, and they are available 24/7. As a college community, we have to look out for each other. And remember, if you see something, say something.
On Saturday, October 3rd, students attended CAB's Weekend Luau. This event was held in the Student Center. Those in attendance enjoyed hula dance performances and music. Pulled pork and jerk chicken were only a few of the featured foods at the event. Students were also able to get luau photos, airbrush tattoos, and DIY desktop beach gardens. Everyone who attended the event soaked up the warm weather theme as the weather starts to get colder. For future CAB events, visit the online agendas calendar at easternct.edu.
Do you want to learn about Photoshop? The need to resize and crop images in order to create thumbnails is a very common scenario for most websites. Managing file sizes is also very important. Learn how to do this easily and effectively at the Photoshop workshop from 3 to 4 p.m. on Wednesday, October 14th in the library. Room 436.
National Public Lands Day is October 10th from 9 to 4 p.m. Volunteers will build a new half-mile trail that will connect the Quinnebog Trail and the Niantic Trail. This project will involve bushwhacking and flagging the trail. There may be brush to remove, side hill trail digging, water bars to construct, and event possibly trees to remove. Materials will be provided. Come out and enjoy this adventure building experience.
Looking for a fun event to attend from 9 p.m. through midnight on Friday? Join CAB this Friday, October 9th for a late night It's Your Birthday. Participate in fun birthday activities no matter what month you were born in. It's everyone's birthday this Friday in the Student Center, so why not celebrate?
Eastern hosted its first blood drive of the year on Tuesday, October 6th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Dozens of Eastern students lined up as they had their blood drawn for a good cause. Every year, Eastern attempts to host multiple blood drives in order to help those who are in need of blood. For more information, go to www.redcrossblood.org, code EASTERN, or contact Nancy Brennan at 860-423-0856 or brennan@easternct.edu. The need for blood is constant, the gratification is instant, and your gift of life will make a difference to someone in need. And we're back with this week's sports.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Can you feel the sun?
I'm Andrew Fitzgerald with this week's sports update. The men's soccer team took on Keene State Sunday, which added another win to the record. Eastern couldn't convert on 3 huge scoring opportunities in the first half, but finally broke out the goals in the second half. Sophomore midfielder J.D. Stearns and forward Xavier Doran each scored 15 minutes apart to secure a 2-1 win for the Warriors. Freshman keeper Ryan Murphy only needed 2 saves to secure his 5th shutout of the season. Unfortunately, the Warriors dropped a tough 1-0 decision to Connecticut College on Tuesday. They'll be back in action this Saturday at UMass Boston. Well, the field hockey team had a tough game against Worcester State. Goals by seniors Laura Chikorka and Hannah Kaiser and junior Gabriela Mesa just weren't enough as they fell 3-2. On Wednesday, sophomore Alex Calgren and senior Brianna Passero each scored a goal to secure an LEC conference victory versus Fitchburg State. The Warriors, who have a 5-1 record at home this season, will host Salem State at Saturday at noon. 2 goals by Emily Betcher and another by Nikki Basilicato just couldn't secure a victory for the women's soccer team. Endicott College answered back with 4 straight goals to defeat the Warriors 4-3. The Warriors will host UMass Boston in an LAC conference game this Saturday at 1 p.m. Even with home field advantage, the Yankees weren't able to chase for that 28th ring as they fell to the Houston Astros 3-0 on Tuesday. Houston will now face the Kansas City Royals. The Rangers will face Toronto, and the Mets and Dodgers will compete for a spot in the NLDS. Other wildcard game outcomes have yet to be determined. The Broncos, Packers, Bengals, Falcons, Panthers, and Patriots still remain unbeaten. The Lions couldn't pull it off on Monday night in Seattle, losing 13-10 and falling to 0-4 in the season. Get it together, Matt Stafford. The Patriots don't have to worry about Dez Bryant or Romo on Sunday when they travel to Dallas, while the Giants host the 49ers and the Jets get into their bye week. That's all I've got for tonight. For ETV Sports, I'm Andrew Fitzgerald. Have a good weekend.
And that's it for this week's show. If you want to see more episodes, visit ETV YouTube channel. I'm Jada Furlow.
And I'm Amanda Zeitel. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next week. Good night, Eastern.